สวัสดีครับ Welcome to the Classical Thai Cooking. I'm Chef Pan Wolagoon. This is the one and only that provide in-depth about Thai cooking for the public. The class reveals the aspect of Thai food and its involvement in Thai culinary. This class are constructive, motivative, lifelong skills, entertaining, and the best educational program in Thai cooking. This is an introduction video on aspect of Thai food, the aspect of Thai food series, and the total of 9 videos. Now you can get to know your chef. Talk about a little bit of credential of who I am. So in order to do the restaurant, so you have to do food handling. Get what? Who is my first person that I had contact with when I started? That was about good 15 years ago. That is Guy Fieri. I call the guy my instructor to do the certification for the California. So I took his class. So I got to know him in person a little bit, but after he get famous, so we still don't really connect it yet because he was impressed about my cooking when I'm talking about. That was he still the manager when he did at the Johnny Garlic's restaurant. So anyhow, and now I have to do those certificates every 5 years, but not with him anymore. And now you have to do when you become the manager, you own the restaurant, so you have to do the food manager in order to managing your restaurant and your people. So you have to pass that certification too. So it's quite difficult, but it's okay because I know a lot more than what I think I didn't know. So I have about 25 years in food industry. So I do a lot of catering, cooking class, do the events, do the restaurant, food and wine pairing, have the booth, they'll kind of open the booth and then go to the vending sites. So pretty good knowledge on how to manage and handling all the food industry in California. I'm a chef instructor. I teach at community education in Santa Rosa Junior College, which is, I do Thai cooking only. So usually I do once, similar one class, so 4 hours, which is I teach a lot of people. My maximum class is 24 people. Now because of the COVID, we don't have that class set it up, but we will do online. But I will do Zoom cooking pretty soon. But this is for everybody. I will set up the class, and this way I can do a lot more. I can go anywhere. Now anybody in the world can take the class. So, but this is the series of these aspect of Thai food that I do. I want people to learn before to come to the Zoom class. So because it's a blackout and information and how to deal with Thai culinary and Thai food, the ingredient and everything else. And then I have the cookbook that I wrote for the student. The cookbook is quite something because nobody have it so far because the way I do it, I talk about do and done specific dish and then I give you the engineering background on the, how to do the texture and flavor, then balancing the taste. So you make and then you got to know what it should taste like. That the cookbook tell you all about it. And every ingredient in my card they hand out. We have the control point. We point it out and they show you how to do them. And I used to own a restaurant in Petaluma, Thai restaurant, the Thai Essence in Petaluma, California. It's Northern California, you know, it's about 45 miles from San Francisco. So my background is engineering, mechanical engineers. So I don't do that much engineering anymore. Usually I like to do cooking, like to do teaching in Thai cooking because I can learn more. I can talk with people. I can exchange information. I can teach people. I can get a lot of people get out of the health problem. So that's what I do mainly. So in you know why I say learning from expert, I'm pretty good at what I do. So I had a lot of Thai culinary skill because I learned from my mom, and then I learned from a lot of people, and I created a lot of things by myself. Figured out thing, and then how to document it, and how to really constructive to do developing my skill. I'm pretty good at what I do at this point because it is sunk in. So I technical know-how, I have no problem with that because I like to figure out things. And whatever I do, I use engineering systematic approach to really dig into where the core is and how you really make things happening. And artistically, I really like to paint. I do a lot of, color. I do a lot of design because I'm a mechanical design engineer. So everything that I do in presentation, I make it myself. Even my website, I still do it myself. Everything I do it all by myself and created that to make it happen. So I'm another one, a world traveler. So I probably have 28 countries right now that I've been through. Usually I'm looking for the food, the culture, something different, go to where people don't like to go, or go to where rough traveling. And I have a blog on my website, thaiessence.com. When you go to the traveling section, you see a lot of my traveling story. If I quantity, if I could, and I wrote really good traveling experience because I equate with the Thai experience, American experience, and wherever I go, how I solve the problem in my traveling. So I am not into the trouble, but it is good story that I tell. So that's why I'm pretty expert of what I do at this point to do whatever I do and to make sure people I want to pass along the information to the people that they probably appreciate it if they dig into it. So before you get into my class, usually I tell my student, people who want to learn Thai food, set aside the different. Sometimes you come from a different background. I'm Thai, and then pretty much I have 1/4 of Chinese, and I've been in America 32 years, and I travel the world. So, and your difference, my difference, it should be compromised. So you set aside the your, I set aside the mine. The way I see things is different. The way you see things is different, but let it loose. Then you will open your eye, you will open your mind. Then you will learn about, you know, how to deal with it, how to cook it, and not afraid of anything. So a lot of my students that come into my class, so usually if they come from the baking people, they just measure everything. I tell my class, no, we're going to use your palate to taste the food. That's your measurement, because everything that they give to you, one cup, half cup, 2 teaspoons, it's irrelevant because it's the ingredient chain. Each year the raw ingredient difference. Even in the same company, call the same thing, but the taste is different. So if you have to rely on your palate to taste the food, this way, whatever the ingredient thrown at you, you should be able to make it a good food. And because you know the technique, you know how it's supposed to taste like, how to deal with it. So then open up your heart, to embrace it. Because a lot of people say, no, Thai food, I don't know about it. It might be stinky, it might be spicy. No, it's totally different. Just open up your heart to embrace it, to learn whatever it comes your face. If everything is good, because it's good knowledge, good power that I laid out for my lecture on aspect of Thai food. On this series, about 9 videos. So you will learn everything about Thai culinary, how to handle everything about Thai food, Thai culture, because I add everything in there to make sure that you know where the food come from, what the medicinal part we're talking about, how to balancing the taste, how to taste effective, simultaneously affect a lot more information in there. And if you have those kind of experience, it will save your life, because Thai is medicinal. I've been in the country 32 years, I never get sick from cold. Because first time when I come 32 years ago, I have the flu shot, and then I got sick for 2 weeks. And after that, I learned from people around me, the Thai, the Laotian, the Cambodian, and then I say, oh, you come Southeast Asia, and then what happened? I say, oh, I got sick. I just got sick for 2 weeks ago. And then they say, what do you do? I have a flu shot. I say, oh, no, you crazy? Don't do the flu shot, because, your body is already good. And, especially the Thai food is all medicinal. And it's true, because in Thailand, I never get sick. I never don't have any food, don't have anything. So after that, I never done it. And I've been here 32 years. I never get the cold since, once, never. And now I have COVID come along, Thai people figured out how to manage the COVID. And now the WHO, the World Organization, give them the #1 country that know how to manage the COVID without the vaccine. So we learn from that. And I just finished my lecture, the presentation, and I upload on YouTube and my website and my Facebook. So you can see that information about how to fight the COVID-19 with Thai medicinal food. I think it's useful if you try to follow and understand why I talk about the medicinal part. It's what are the things we do, and they give you example of food and those kind of things, something simple that you can make. If you have a question, you can shoot me the email, and how to do them, I will just do the email back or comment on my YouTube. Just say, okay, how you do this sauce, blah, blah, blah. Let me know, and then I get ready to set it up, the Zoom cooking class. The format is pretty much almost the same as my class in what I usually do now, before, but now because we cannot have the human contact, that we can do via Zoom. So the Zoom will give you have to buy your own ingredient. You pay some free to help me out to get, class going because you got to pay for this, pay for that. It's a sort of fee that is not expensive. And what I do, you have to zoom. I be able to zoom into your location, and I can really see what you do because I will give you a demo for what I do, what I talk about, how they prep the ingredient, how to cook, what the sequential, how the thing work. And then you do on your side, I will zoom into your, you lay your hand, okay, you have a question, I will zoom into you and see what you do. I can tell by the color, I can tell by consistency, and I can tell by the the texture that you created. Because most of the time, when you cook shrimp, if the color didn't come out bright red or it come out really red and it's cold too much that you overcook. So those kind of things, sometimes you cannot redo. You have to really know how to instruction that I provide, like if the color change, turn off the heat, balancing the taste, and there you go. So when it's warm, those kind of things. So it's something that that's why I say if you accepting to learn, open your heart to learn, you will learn a lot in this class because my class is unique. Nobody can handle and nobody can do what I do because I add everything in there all at once and make sure you understand those and you learn them well. Most of my students, I probably have now almost 50, 60 classes, like about 300 to almost 400 the email from my student, the student, I take my class, I collect the email, and then when I have something out, I email them. When I do email, a pretty impressive presentation, isn't it? So here the content of the series. So, you know, I will talk about the Thai cuisine, the sequence of the series, and then the general knowledge in Thai cuisine. So we talk about, you know, how to use your equipment, how to cut, how to chop, how to how the thing work in Thai culinary skill. So and then we talk va- we talk the recognition of variation of Thai dish because Thai dish not just pad Thai, it's a lot more thing than that. And then we're going to talk about the food safety, just in case you make sure that you how do you start the food, how to save the food, what kind of food is poison, all these kind of things, the information. And then we will talk about medicinal aspect. Then the Thai ingredient, you see all kind of ingredient like we don't do rabbit, we don't eat dog, we eat exotic thing, and then you will find a lot of things that we even have a crocodile that getting become popular in Thai cuisine now. And then Thai cooking technique and skill. This is I don't see people know how to do it yet, but a lot of my students that learn from it. They say it's useful. And then a beverage with Thai food. I mean, we could talk about a wine, how to selecting the wine, and that the last one is the dish of the fight against the COVID is already done. So that become the third one is already uploaded. You can uh, take a look at it. You can learn something about it, and then to protect yourself. If because we don't have a vaccine right now, yeah, how Thai people protect themselves and how the thing we do, what we do, and what kind of food we eat to really save yourself. Okay. No, and Thai essence under the cooking. So all the video is there and have more information that you ever want to know. We add more thing in there like the ingredients, the recipes, all those things. But just for the people who you know do some donation, they can go access to all the information like the recipe, the more exotic thing that about Thai cuisine. If you usually it there. So we'll see how it goes. I hope you support some stations so I can create more video out of this. So is here is something about the dish that I already been created. I mean been doing that, and it's a bit long, about good 10-20 minutes. If you don't have time, you should go ahead and skip it. But you have time, take a look at it. It's very very pretty. Uh, uh, Thai dish that I've been doing. This is all mine. Okay, good luck and thank you for watching this. Hopefully, you go to the next video. Have a pleasant day. Thank you. โชคดีครับ